All right, guys. Well, we just finished up our 2025 Velvet Buck Hunt. This year was my first year to participate in it.
Mine too.
And I guess the main reason for me was this was the first year I actually had deer on camera that I considered, shooter or target deer.
And they was barely shooters.
Right. And
subject to opinion.
In this day and time, I mean, everybody considers something different a shooter. What's a shooter? You may not be a shooter to the next guy. Bow hunting stuff enough as it is. I think Mississippi having a velvet buck season is pretty neat. I've killed some deer in the past, and early October were partial velvet, but never killed a deer in full velvet. So, although I was unsuccessful in harvesting a deer this weekend, I had a lot of fun, saw a lot of deer, and let's just kind of talk about our experience from this past weekend.
Okay. So we start off with mine. I've been running cameras all summer. Shooters have been very slow, which I've been showing y'all most of the pictures. So I got a 10-year-old boy. Told him we're gonna get him on a deer. Cause he don't care what he shoots.
Sure, at that age, man,
he don't care.
And that's what you want.
Yeah, and Mississippi allows crossbow. Which allows a young kid to go to get involved, especially young age. He's 10. So we took him Friday evening. We're supposed to have a east/northeast wind. He was anywhere from southwest to south to north. But about 6 o'clock, 6:05, 8-point come in, full velvet. 26-yard shot. He shot it. Got it on video. Seemed to be a real good shot, about 4 or 5 inches behind the shoulder.
Yeah.
Got a complete pass. Got down, looked for the deer. Had blood 75 yards, all the blood stopped. So immediately I backed out, called the dog. Dog showed up 700 yards later. We got the deer.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it quarter to maybe a little bit that you didn't know? I saw the entry hole. I saw the video you sent to us, and then I saw the pictures after, and the entry looks perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, so like I said, it were 5 to 6 inches behind the shoulder, and it actually exited perfect right behind the shoulder. I don't know if the broad end it opened up correctly. It had 2 inches going in, 2 inches coming out. I don't know what happened inside.
It's really tough animal.
700 yards. But he got it done. He was happy.
Yeah, I saw the pictures. Now, was this a deer you had on camera earlier?
Yeah, we had 2 deer. We had this young 8-point and a big 8-point, but he wasn't going to pass up the opportunity to make any of it.
Right, I don't blame him.
So he hit 26 yards open that day.
Velvet buck season. He was 10 foot tall and he went to school one.
We can watch the video if you want. Yeah.
All right.
Me.
That dude never knew you were there, did he?
Oh, never did. You see circles out of the camera.
Yeah.
And it runs over left. And the deer actually stops. So what we figured he was going down right there. And that's where the blood actually stopped at.
Yeah.
But like I said,
were you shooting mechanical rod? Yeah.
Kills on it. NAP kills on. Wait. But this is it after we got it back to the camp. But it actually exited right up under right behind the shoulder. You actually see it right there.
Right. I mean, it just seemed like perfect placement.
Yeah.
Actually, it was a little corner away, which is what you want.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll give a little shout out. It's Austin Sports. Who actually tracked it.
Yeah.
So dog did a really good job.
Straight to the deer.
Straight to the deer.
Yeah. Man, they make a world of difference. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of deer that have been shot with very little sign that people.
Yeah.
When I was doing this 20 years ago, nobody had tracking dogs.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. You followed the blood for 100 yards, 200 yards, and played out. You started making circles until you were just exhausted.
Yeah.
Well, man, they're finding 80% of those deer now.
And I see a lot of mixed emotions on tracking dogs, but man, in this case, we wouldn't have found the deer that night. The deer would have ruined.
Yeah.
So we call dogs and the deer's in the cooler.
Right. It makes a difference.
Yeah, I think we owe the respect to the animal
to make every effort to recover. Yeah.
And we pull the trigger. We owe the animal respect to do everything we can to recover.
Yeah, Jay, like y'all made an unethical decision to make that shot. So that was a clean shot. Just sometimes you gotta have a little help.
That's right. I mean, you can hear the video, even Barrett knew it, he smoked it,
Yeah.
If you listen close, you can hear it. But anyway, that was our milk season. I hunted Saturday evening. I seen $3 Saturday evening, no shooters. Watched them probably 15, 20 minutes. Didn't hunt Sunday, but that was kind of the standing by velvet season. I don't hunt mornings in the velvet season, just kind of my preference. But so I'm getting ready for October 1st now.
Right, me too, absolutely. Well, Devin, you're the only one of us that has experience with some of the previous velvet seasons. Like, what's your thought now that you're 4 years into it? Are you think it's a good idea? Is it something that
So, in my opinion, it gives you a better chance to kill one of your target bucks. Because like I said, in my opinion, I do have a lot of times where I have a good buck show up all summer long, he leaves. November, October, he disappeared, no idea where he goes. It also gives opportunity for my son, because it was mainly about him,
Sure.
At that time of year, they are worried about feed. You run the feeders, your chances go up. So yeah, I think it gives a good opportunity to get kids in the woods. The permit's $10 for the state to do it, so it's a little boost of income for the state. So yeah, I think it's good. This year I think it may have been the earliest one.
Yeah.
I want to say the first year they did it was around like September 18th or so. Yeah, September 18th. Yeah, we got. I mean, shooter for you. No, I wasn't. Play out this. Yeah, September 18th is the first year. And that year, I had deer I actually started to shed at that time. The deer kind of mess up when they start getting ready to shed.
They do. We got another member of our Southern Oaks Outdoors group up in the North Central Mississippi area this weekend. Target buck he had been after all summer. Watch this deer grow. And can I tell you, once it shed, it was no longer a target buck.
Yeah.
I mean, it made that much difference.
Yeah.
Heavy in velvet. Now, the ones that are still in velvet now, you and I talked about this earlier today, the velvet's not got tight.
They started to shrink.
Yeah, it's shrunk a lot. But a month ago, they were pretty well racked out what they're going to be, but they looked huge.
Yeah.
So Bailey, who had that 9-point target buck, once it shed, he was like, that's really not the deer I want to kill. That's really not the deer I want to target. So that makes a difference.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I love it. I'm looking forward to it. I know now that my son, he'll do it every year now.
Sure. I mean, that's a bonus, man. Getting him involved.
Yeah, first time you kill his deer.
Yeah. He's top of the world. What about you? Well, Blake, you're a lifetime license holder, right?
I am. So I was actually exempt from paying the $10, but at the end of the day, my 6-year-old wished I had brought him with me, which setting up bow season is a little different for a 6-year-old. We put him in a shooting house with a feeder 150 yards away. But I've been out of bow hunting for, I don't know, probably over 16 years. And I've never killed a buck with my bow. So, I mean, this was a chance for me to get in there early. Like y'all said, I mean, the bucks are acting a little different this time of year, a little more consistent, a little more on the police. Because, just like you, when I come October, my deer start disappearing. And, but I think if you knew we'd start moving in towards the end of October, I was lucky enough to actually see 4 ranked bucks this weekend. And, I mean, I don't know about many Southwest Mississippi otters, but to me, if you can make 8 hours or less in the woods and see 4 rack bucks and 4 does, you've done really well. Yeah. It's been a solid hunt. I had 0 success seeing deer on the morning hunts. First morning, I roosted across from a turkey. I say risking it for about eye level, and apparently they caught me before I ever caught it. They went to putting and putting and putting, and then the deer started blowing, and they never come in.
Yeah.
So I got to see turkey, got to watch chipmunks, got to watch the bats fly. Anytime I can spend time in God's creation and nature, that's how it's it. Yeah. But the afternoon hunts is where I found the success step. The biggest thing to me this year that I checked off a major hunting bucket list, I've always wanted to see deer stand up and fight in person. I've got them on game camera 100 times, but I got to watch at 25 yards, pair of does get up, fight on their hind legs, the loser run off in the woods, the winner go off chasing them. I mean, it was a show. Yeah. And I have a running joke with my 6-year-old. He's firmly believing there's such thing as kangaroo deer.
I love it.
And he was really upset I didn't shoot kangaroo deer to bring home to show him. And he'd be more upset I didn't get it on camera for him. But when they're up there that close and that kind of action, you leaving that camera alone.
Yeah. I've never seen it. I've seen bucks spar, but I've never seen those fight. So,
well, that makes me feel a little better that I've never seen that all the years I've had. As a true treat.
Yeah, I've had it on camera a few times. I actually saw it one time. It was not in a hunting situation. It was on a bean field, and I'm driving down the road. 2 dudes.
Yeah.
Prize fighting. Oh yeah, they're going at it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, the turkey that you saw, we're going to catch up with it this spring.
Yeah, I don't know about the wheat part, but I do want to catch up with this spring.
We can discuss it after the hunt. Yeah, something like that. There may not be some turkey hunters in the group.
Yeah. Any turkey hunter knows, that we don't drop pins, not on the real location anyway.
Right. Yes. Well, Blake, is there anything you do different this weekend? I kind of look back and I'm going to tell you my part, but is there anything you'd have done different?
Well, considering 3 out of 4 bucks I saw were 120 yards from where I was sitting, knowing what I know, I would have had a hunt blind set up somewhere in that path and, sit there. But that's fun.
That's unimportant.
Next time I make sure to been sitting in the exact tree I was.
Yeah.
It's bow hunting specifically. With a rifle, 120 yards would have been a problem. But, trying to get him in that kill zone, the only rack buck I got in the kill zone is about 10 yards with an 11 point. Yeah, 11 point. The old southern 11 point.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. What about you, Preston?
Well, like I said, this was my first year to participate in a buck hunt. Early in August, I got access to hunt a 40-acre tract here in Pike County, and me and my grandson put up a camera, put up a feeder early. Within 2 days, I had 2 really good mature bucks show up. I have one big mature 7-point that I think probably is on his way down, but he's still just a tremendous deer. And then I have a typical 10-point that's probably going to gross in a good 130. He's a really good deer. So I was beyond excited. So I'm like, all right, this year I'm hunting the velvet season here. Early August to mid-August, they daylighted twice, 2 different times. I had both of those bucks feeding daytime. So give me a little hope. After around August 15th, they've been knocked on. Now they've been pretty consistent. They'll miss a night here or there, but just about every single night, including last night, both of those bucks are at the feed.
Yeah.
And they're feeding throughout the night 2 or 3 times. They're feeding 2 or 3 hours total per night. So they're hoping cooler weather, cool front. I know once they lose that velvet, and your bachelor groups, you're going to split up. One thing I found, and Robert and I were doing some looking, kind of some study, that 7-point is the boss. Although the 10 points bigger, on every camera survey we do, and we run in self cameras, so I'm getting my pictures live. We're looking, and you can see here they are. And this was last night.
He got 30 pounds of everything.
All right, look at it. And he comes in to feed, and you watch on, and I've got it set to where I can choose video. So it's coming to myself, and I can choose video. You can watch him walk up. The 10-point will literally stand back there and wait until that 7-point gets to eating before the 7-point is just not letting him eat. He's that big a deer. But as you can see, both are just tremendous deer for Southwest Mississippi. So that had me fired up. So I keep an eye on them. We keep the camera survey going. I don't have, from August 15th on, I don't have another daytime picture, but I'm like, I'm certainly not going to see them if I don't get it. So I get in there and I set up a ground blind early, a month early. Ground blind, get it. We kind of get it where I've got some shooting lanes, but it's pretty covered. It's a pretty good spot. I'm set up to hunt a south wind, southwest wind, and I'm hunting summer. If you guys know that we're still in summer now.
Yeah.
The first day of fall is not till a week from now.
Yeah, what was your hunting time that day?
Right. My hunting time that day was a pair of gym shorts and a t-shirt. And I'm in a blind.
Wow.
Well, I get in the blind. I don't get in early because I know I'm getting in blind about 4:30. which, you're in a rut. I mean, that's way too late. But,
Yeah.
I'm in the blind at 4:30, and it's not good. Legal shooting light was 7:41 Friday, where I was hunting in. So I had plenty of time. 5:20, I hear movement. I'm like, all right, that doesn't sound like a squirrel, like always fools us.
Yeah.
And I kind of start easing my bow, and I can tell something's close. I start easing my bow up, get my release. They start blowing. There they go.
Yeah.
And there, my wind, south was not perfect. What prevails all weekend for me? A northeast wind, which was blowing my scent straight to it.
Yeah.
But I'm in the blind now, so
Yeah.
it's too late for the weekend to move anything. So I stay there. The only deer that I saw and gave me an opportunity was I had a real pretty symmetrical 6-point. Great looking little deer. It's a small young deer, 2-year-old deer at most. He comes out broadside, 20, 25 yards, and for about 8 minutes he stands there. I choose to pass him because of what I've got on camera. He was the only one. He fell off, and then right at dark, I go to get out of my blind, another one busted me and blew. So, all right, I'm aggravated, but it is what it is. Can't change it. I don't want the next morning. I'll leave it alone. But I go and I take a ladder stand in there. So I'm not gonna hump. I'll get in there quick, put a ladder stand up. I'm gonna get elevated, maybe it'll help me with the wind. So I do that, get out of there quick, give it about 8 or 9 hours before I go back again Saturday about 4 o'clock. And this time about 6:30, a little after 6:30, I hear something coming, and it's really close, and it's kind of right behind me here. And I'm not on the look, and I got my bow on the look, and then she starts blowing, but all of a sudden I'm not sure what it is. And blowing and stomping, they don't run. And they're so close up in front of my eye, I can see the leg.
Yep.
I can see the deer stomping, but I don't want to look. I'm closing my eyes, thinking, sometimes they'll blow, and if they can't figure it out, they're going, I've killed deer like that before. Unfortunately, this one did leave.
And figured it out.
Hunted the rest of the evening, had that same northeast wind blowing right to their bedding area. So not a whole lot of confidence, but toward that last hour, the wind kind of died.
Mm-hmm.
The forecasted wind was still the north wind, but there wasn't really any wind. So I'm like, maybe right here dark, one of these deer come out. Ended up not seeing anything else. Left out of there, an hour after I'm out of there, Doe's on camera. The big bucks are back on camera, back forth. So yesterday, the day after we done all the hunts over for the weekend, Monday afternoon, 5:30, here comes the day. So that was a curl that was blowing on me every day between 5:30 and 6:30. So my experience with the velvet buck season was great. We were all in a group text.
Yeah.
So Devin, before your son shot, you were sending us video of deer.
Yeah.
And then when your son shot, you have to send us the video of the kill, and we were able to communicate. And really, that helped me pass the time a lot better.
Oh yeah.
And if I can, if I got my buddies, I got you guys texting me what you're seeing or what you're not seeing, it helps me pass the time.
Yeah.
If not, I'm bad about just getting distracted. Right? We all have our phone in our hand. But that made it fun for me.
Yeah.
Being able to, what do you see? Do you see anything? And then you say, and then the video of the bears saying, I smoked.
Yeah.
How much better is that get, man? That's why we do this stuff. So
absolutely. And then with the three of us, we all seen deer.
all of us
Some less successful. We all got some tweaking we got to do.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to October 1st.
I'm looking forward to October 1st.
You kept mentioning your videos. What do you use to get your videos? What camera? What kind of camera?
I'm using a Moultrie Edge is what I'm using. I'm on the Moultrie Edge's field staff. So I get some of their products to try out. And where I'm hunting is 40-acre tract, the newest crop in hunting. I got great cell coverage.
Yeah.
And Moultrie goes off of AT&T, T-Mobile, or Verizon. Whichever service is the strongest, that's the one they pick up from.
Yeah.
So this case, I'm running the rechargeable batteries. So the regular AA batteries, they'll last you about 2 weeks in their case.
Yeah.
Because I choose, and you don't have to, but I choose for instant upload. Okay. If the deer sits in front of the camera, takes a picture, we're going over. I want it right now.
Yeah.
I don't want it 12 hours later. And I know I could say you got it off. I get it. But I just like to look at the camera. I like my phone dangling and be seeing that 10 point still there. He's not gone yet. Now, Do I think that those two big boats are going to stay together once they develop? Just no. Hopefully they'll still come, but I know they're not going to be buddy anymore.
You know, that's one thing I have learned. Velvet season, I think it was 23 when I killed that one in there on the wall. But the season prior to that, I had a bunch of deer hunting in velvet. First velvet season I had 4 or 5 deer running together. It was impossible to get the deer in range. Because when you got 1 or 2 coming in, there's some other ones hanging back, you know, they kept smelling me. But when October came, they started busting up. All of a sudden, you started seeing one come at 5:30 to the feeder, one coming at 6:20. All of a sudden, that kind of had this.
And that gave you a better chance.
A lot better chance to kill.
Absolutely. I'm excited for October. I count this as a success. I think all of us run cell cameras.
Yes.
Of one kind or another. So we kind of.
That is the notification.
Yeah. I mean, that's just what I do. Find a little more batteries, a little more. But going back to what Devin said, I think all of us, maybe small, but I think all of us have a legal deer. And in front of, I think all of us have a chance at a legal deer in velvet season. Mississippi, as we all know, has one buck of choice. So one buck can be any antler buck is one of your 3 can be a buck of choice. So I think all of us have an opportunity.
Yep.
And golly, y'all, I can tell you, I started buck hunting over 30 years ago. And if you killed a doe, if you killed a 60-pound German during bow season, you were successful. You rode that 4-point around on top of that toolbox. You went to start right in and got a burger when you could hear right there. Yeah. It's what you did.
Yeah, you know, we're talking about cameras. You know, I remember, I think it's 2001, we had to go to Walmart to see what we had on camera. We had to get the film developed. I still have some of those pictures.
Yeah, I do too. I have
Now today, we want it sent to our phone immediately.
Okay. Yeah, time changed. I can remember some of the first cell camera we had, and not cell cameras, some of the first trail cameras we had. I mean, they were big as, they were shiny. Those cameras were set up, and you had to go take the film, and you get there, and sometimes the film was double exposed. You didn't get a picture. Yeah. You know, and at that time, I didn't live 5 miles from Walmart. I lived 40 miles from Walmart or Walgreens.
Yeah.
But that's the times that have evolved. And with today's youth, man, there's so much to get them distracted. I'm so glad that, when I take my grandson out, I can expect we're going to see deer.
Yeah, that's right.
It may be that spike, it may be that 4-point, it may be that doe, but we're going to see deer.
Yeah.
Golly, man, if they had to come up in the town when I come up,
that's right.
We saw a deer track, you were excited.
Yeah, and then, a lot of people get hung up on that 1,000 acres, that 500 acres, but you're hunting 40.
I'm on 40.
How big was the piece that you was hunting there?
A little bigger, but my main piece I hunt 60.
Yeah. The piece that my son killed that deer on 7 acres.
Yeah. All 3 of us hunting on properties were less than 100 acres. And all 3 of us, although we might not have seen them, all 3 of us have shooters on camera. Right?
Yeah, not only that, but the 3 of us this weekend seen probably 3, 4, 5, 7 or 8 bucks.
Yeah.
On these
tracks. These smaller acres tracks.
Let's not get hung up on, whoever's watching this. Well, they're hunting 1,000 acres, they go 1,000.
Yeah, we're hunting 500 acres, 1,000 acres, 1,500 acres.
We may hunt 1,000 acres over here.
Right.
But we also may hunt 16 acres.
Yeah.
Some on 40 acres.
Yeah. A lot of what we do, a lot of our clients are hunting on 40 acres. They're hunting on 20 acres, right? That's what they're buying. That's what they're hunting on. And they don't have a full-time caretaker. Mm-hmm. They don't have somebody full-time running year-round figures, running food plots, running mineral sites.
Yep.
And they're like us.
And, basically, all the thing we do is we put a cell camera on, or we let it marinate.
Yeah.
And then you use that camera to identify one of the best houses to go in there. Like I said, last year I killed 2 deer on 16 acres. I'm like, y'all got 10 acres at your house.
Yeah.
Every year you kill every
year. And one of the bucks you killed last year on the 16 acres was a nice 8-point. I mean, that was early bow season.
Yep. So don't get hung up on that. Let it discourage you.
Yeah. I'm looking, without doubt, next year, I'll plan on going forward. I'm going to be hunting the velvet buck season. This year, I would have had my grandson with me. It just didn't work out timing with him. Yeah, it didn't work out, but I'd love to have him with the bottom of his crossbow. I have a crossbow. I bought a bipod this past week, something he can prop up on, shoot, something he can be comfortable with it. He may not be comfortable with that 243 yet. With that crossbow, he can shoot it in the yard. He can watch me shoot it. He can be comfortable with me shooting. He has been with me on countless retreats, even bow season. I shoot a deer, come back, I get him on the side we go, and he's done the trails. So, although he hadn't killed a deer yet, he's getting to that age where, he wants to go. He's excited about it.
Yeah.
And
that crossbow, there again, I don't crossbow much, but I fully support it because it gets kids out there. And every video I seen, one of the main comments for the deer shot this weekend was, "Man, what kind of crossbow is that? That arrow's blue."
my dad, I said, look, I can set you up to do bow hunting with trails. I got a place where we can bow line. He said, okay. He said, you don't shoot a bow. He's 80 years old. I went to a local pawn shop right there in Canton. They had 2 or 3 crossbows. I picked up a PSE crossbow for $200. It comes with broadheads, arrows, case, everything. I took it home in my backyard, shot it a couple of times, out of pock and road, shot it a couple of times, hit the target. My dad took it the next day, passed up a 6-point and killed an 8-point. The biggest deer of his life at 80 years old.
Yeah.
That's what a crossbow would do for,
That's right.
This allowed an 80-year-old, there's no way he could draw a bow of any kind. I don't care what the pound was, didn't play. But he would get in there, spend some time with his grandson, then kill it with a crossbow.
Let's make memories.
Making memories. So, I've enjoyed our time here talking Arkansas Beer Run.
I got one question I'll ask both of y'all.
Yeah.
Why are y'all bow hunters?
Well, I'll start off and take that on. Is growing up as a I grew up in the 70s. I became a teenager in the 70s, early 80s with my time. None of my family bow hunted. None. My dad, my granddad, nobody was bow hunters. I had a guy that I went to high school with, gave me a Bear Tony Angry Bird. He gave it to me. He did bow hunt. I don't know where he got it from. He gave it to me. And I bought some aluminum arrows, probably some, 2217, bought some old aluminum arrows and shot. And so I wanted to bow hunt. My dad thought it was the most ridiculous thing in the world. You'll bow hunt. But I got out there and I hunted with it. And I'd sit in those 8-foot wooden 2x4 stands that we built on a 5-gallon bucket. Never killed a deer.
Yeah.
Shot at a couple of them, but saw deer. And then that got me interested in it. But that was at the same time that video hunting started to come popular. You could get a VHS with Fitzgerald. There was this guy up in northwest Missouri or wherever, Kansas, and he had video these hunts. And I was crazy. And then the late 80s, around 87 to 89, you had Mossy Oak came out. You had Realtree come out. You had Primus come out. And buying these VHS tapes every year. The Truth One, The Truth Two, Realtree, Monster Bucks. Well, they were doing a lot of bow hunting. They did a lot of bow hunting. And hunter specialties, those guys, I so love to watch them. I'd get these VHS tapes and I'd watch them till they wouldn't play anymore. And I watched those guys bow hunting, and that just watching them being so close to the deer. I grew up if you deer hunt, you ran dogs. I didn't know, and that was fine. I still have nothing against that. So it was tradition. Killed my first deer at 10-point, running dogs. Killed several deer doing it. But I just watching those guys do that. And I didn't even know anybody that bow. I didn't have buddies that bow hunting. Just didn't grow around that. But just me watching it, I come up in a time where the mid-80s to late 80s, you started seeing bow hunts on TV. You started seeing you could buy a VHS tape bow hunting. And that's just kind of what got piqued my interest. And I'd go to they had a bow shop in Baker, Louisiana. It was the closest one to us. I'd go to it. And every Thursday evening they had a shoot. Everybody be shooting, Golden Eagle bows. You guys probably remember those brands. Matthews wasn't the thing. Hoyt wasn't the thing.
You had High Country.
You had Darton. High Country. My first compound bow was a High Country Safari. 82-pound draw. Who in the world pulls that kind of weight now? I was 21 years old and thought I had to shoot a bow that heavy. Well, you had Golden Eagle, you had Darton, you had High Country, you had PSE was back in those days. Some of those bow brands aren't even around anymore. But that's just what got let off was horrible. If you try to draw one of those old bows now, you're like, golly.
Yeah.
Let off was horrible. The draw was rough. You shot these big, heavy aluminum arrows. But man, that was the love of it.
Yeah. So mine's probably 2-part. I grew up hunting with my grandpa. From age 3. But as I got older, 7, 8, 9 years old, I realized he's getting hunted a lot more than me. because he was bow hunting. So I originally started bow hunting to extend my season to build a hunt point. But if you ask me today why I bow hunt, it's strictly because of the closeness. Just getting in that close on an animal, tricking. That would be my reason today.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on
How
that.
close. That's where I'm. And then to pick up where you left off with the old bow, I actually inherited my grandpa last year. He gave me his old bow.
Yeah.
And so I may do a little series on that.
What is it?
It's a high country.
Oh, high country. Yeah.
It's a high country. It's he bought it Indian Orchards.
I remember in that archive. I remember some of those guys that worked there over the years.
Yeah.
I remember, what was your first deal with the bow?
12 years old. It was 3-point out of my house. It was a reflex compact bow. It was 3-point. I missed it at 12 yards, and it ran out there at like 38 or 40, and I shot it. I actually hit it way back, and I had a lab at the time. Lab found it. That was my first bow kill. So
Yeah.
But
my first bow kill was a giant button buck.
yes,
You know, the big doe coming in, the doe, and look, it is what it is. It's all like it is. The doe and the yearling came in together. I shot over the doe. She took off. And the yearling just went there and stopped. So I knocked it out of the air, and of course I center pointed it. It curled out from 10 yards and watched it fall over. Or a good, 40 pound little button. But that was my first. No, man, I was so pumped up, so excited about it. And that started my journey. And I've been blessed over the years to be able to hunt and do a lot of bow hunting. I had a shoulder injury that kept me from bow hunting the past couple of years, but my shoulder got better and got feeling better. So here, late summer, I got my bow out. I could draw it. So I started shooting lower poundage. And now I've got it up to I'm about 68 pounds, which is plenty. You guys know that's plenty to kill a deer.
Yeah. But high close. The one last year I killed, the first one I killed 8 points. He was at 16 yards, and I was actually hunting out of a chicken coop.
Yeah.
Because I think I sent you.
Yeah, you did. That was pretty neat, man.
So it's just kind of that.
Because I agree.
Yeah.
I gotten kind of bored with the rifle hunting. I mean, seeing the doe at 100 yards, you could shoot it easy versus having a doe come in at 10 yards, And last year, it was a recurve, didn't have any success, but it was an eye-opener, trying to get them that close, shoot them with a recurve.
Recurve for me, they got their business.
They tend to be a little faster than the arrows. I didn't have the best success, but it got me back into at least picking up a compound this year to get back into it.
My experience with bow hunting goes beyond, whitetails. There's one. Man, I love declining again with a bow. That's it. I've done a lot of hog hunting with a bow. I went on a hog hunt with you. How old were you at that time, Devin?
Man, I don't know. Probably 10 or 12.
Yeah, you were 10 or 12 years old. You were hunting with a rifle. And I was bow hunting. We wanted to trip over to Louisiana. We shot up to Louisiana. And we had a great time. Look, I borrowed a bow the day before we went on this trip. His granddad put it together and said, "Hey, you want to go?" And another buddy of ours from out around JS, So I didn't even have a bow at the time. It was one of those given lifetime, but I didn't. The guy let me borrow his bow. I shot it a couple times. I went on this trip, and wound up killing a huge hog. And I hit him back. I didn't hit him perfect, but the hog went 15 yards late, and I died right there later. So it was just one of those things meant to be. But I love to bow hunt anything. I try to go to Texas once or twice a year, do a little hog hunting, and we find some exotics with this band.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you guys understand it.
Oh yeah.
But if I had to really try to explain to you why I love bow hunting, you probably wouldn't get it.
Yeah, and that's Miss Billy. I have her on my Facebook. I actually got her number, reconnected with her.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
That was a lot of fun.
And she's probably another reason we bow hunt.
She's probably another reason why we're bow hunters today is because of that lady, man. It's talking like such a nail, but
that's right. But next year I'll definitely be doing the melon hunt. So.
Yeah, me too.
Absolutely. Y'all want to do a follow up in October, or how y'all want?
Yeah, definitely. I think probably the first week of October we'll round table back up again when I goes. Of course, the season goes, and I enjoy sitting down and visiting with you guys.
That's right.
Right? I get to do this for a living. This is what I get to do. So And I enjoy hanging with you. I enjoy talking with you. Blake's going on an early season teal hunt. He got one of his buddies got drawn.
Next week.
One of his buddies got drawn for a Muskie 9 WMA. So he's getting going on teal hunt. I grew up a duck hunter, so I can relate to it. I'm excited for him to get back and talk about that, and then I can talk plenty of stories about teal hunting, duck hunting in general. And then in the past 3 years, Blake and I, Robert and Blake's son, we started duck hunting together, and we've had some great times. We had the big snow last year, like a blizzard here from Mississippi. But we had inches of snow, and we hunted that morning. And when we started hunting, it was just starting to snow. By the time we finished hunting, everything was white. By the time I get home, I got 8 inches of snow here in Southwest Mississippi, which is unheard of, but it just makes for incredible hunting, incredible memories. Also, that's just kind of what the outdoors is about. We love plenty of talking about house and dog. We're a real estate company. We work real estate. We're going to talk about anything from our hunting experiences and memories we make to, what's the best way to market your property? How can we help that landowner out there that's inherited that 100 acres or that 40 acres and don't even know where to start? I mean, we talk to plenty of clients all the time that they don't even know where to start. I inherited it. Well, his probate been done. So are you the executor of the will? Do you have the right to sell this property? Yeah, your dad left it to you, but Blake and I had an experience about that. The whole episode in itself.
Yeah.
So just because a client or someone comes and says, "Hey, I inherited this property and I own it," I think there'll be more to the story. So we won't get off into the weeds on that today. But God, man, I appreciate you being here with me. I appreciate you being part of what we do. Man, if I can do this for another 20 years, I will.